Hey, what's going on everyone, this is iReviews back with another video, and today we're talking about iOS 19. Now we're less than a month away from the release of the first beta of iOS 19 at WWDC 2025, and it's shaping up to be a game changer. Now we already know that there will be a totally new redesign of iOS, a bunch of other new features and changes, and basically a new way to navigate and interact with everything on your device. So it will be the biggest update since iOS 7. And just lately we got some other leaks of some other new features that are coming to iOS 19 that will actually change the way you use and how your iPhone works. Now we're talking about the first one here, and it will be a new feature coming for your batteries. Now, just like months before on iOS 18.2, there was an indication of a new feature called battery intelligence. Now, we actually hoped that feature would come with iOS 18.2 or any of the other iOS 18 updates, but it didn't happen. And now here we have the report from Mark Gurman, who is our very trusted source when it comes to Apple related stuff and iOS, of course. Now that feature, battery intelligence, it's supposed to show you how much time you have left until you charge your iPhone. Now that should be part of the same set of features here that he's talking about. So according to him, Apple has prepared a new Apple Intelligence feature for iOS 19, an AI-powered battery optimization made to extend the battery life. Now, Apple is using AI in this case to help you get better battery life and better battery health on your iPhone. So basically what this will do is it will analyze how you use your iPhone and basically make adjustments to the energy that you use on your iPhone. That way it will preserve the battery life as well as the battery health. Now, of course, in this case, you can see it's aimed for the iPhone 17 Air, which we know has a very slim design, so it will of course have a smaller battery, but other devices will take advantage of this feature as well, and it will be a game changer. Now, according to Grumman, another feature coming to iOS 19 and macOS 16 is an automatic sync of the captive Wi-Fi details, making your login at hotels, offices, gyms, whatever you are, much easier. Now what this will do is that it will sync the details of the Wi-Fi's to your devices. So if you connect with your iPhone, when you go to your iPad or your Mac, it's ready to go. You don't need to just log into that Wi-Fi for every device that you have. All you have to do is have, of course, the devices on the same Apple ID, and now this new feature will actually be able to sync your devices. And here's another great news. According again to Grumman, besides the AI additions and interface changes, Apple is pushing engineers to ensure that this year's release will be more functional and less glitchy. Now, this will be great. Now, you know that initial releases, especially the betas, but also the initial releases of iOS, let's say iOS 18, 18.1, tend to be more glitchy and not work properly, maybe have way worse battery life and performance. But according to Grumman, this year should be different. Apple is pushing their engineers to actually improve iOS before releasing it, so it should be much more stable. And now let's talk about some of the new features that are coming to iOS 19 that actually have been revealed by Apple. These are all accessibility features and they're actually super useful. A lot of people will be able to take advantage of some of these great new features that Apple always adds to their updates. Here are a few of those. So for example, the new reader mode. Introducing the accessibility reader. So on your iPhone, you know we have a reader mode on Safari, and now you will have this new reader mode which will have access system-wide. So this feature basically is designed to make text easier to read for users with a wide range of disabilities, and it will be a reader mode again for all the system, not just Safari or a website. Everywhere you're on iOS, you will be able to use this new reader mode. Currently on iOS 18, you know we have this eye tracking feature, which is pretty cool, but now eye tracking users on iPhone and iPad will have the option to actually use a switch or dwell to make selections. Keyboard typing when using tracking will be also much easier. And we also have an update to the music haptics. Now this feature on iOS 18, basically an enable button right there, enable or disable it. But with iOS 19, you will be able to actually have way more customizations here. Probably will be able to customize things like the strength of the vibration and things like that, which is really cool. Now there will be also changes to sound recognition. So where we have sound recognition here, so sound recognition with iOS 19 actually will add another feature called name recognition. Now, just like your iPhone recognizes sounds, it will now be able to also recognize names. So let's say if a person that cannot hear has very big problems with hearing, they will know when their name is being called. Of course, their iPhone will be able to alert them, which is really awesome. Now, also accessibility nutrition labels will come to the App Store. So on the product page, there will be highlights of the accessibility features within apps and games, which is really awesome. Now, Apple is also making updates to CarPlay, which is actually, again, a great addition. CarPlay will now include support for large text and also with updates to sound recognition in CarPlay. So that's a feature you will be able to now use on your car as well. So these are some of the amazing new features that Apple is bringing to iOS 19. Again, we're less than a month away from iOS 19 to be released. To the devs first, of course, but everyone will be able to install it and test it. It will be on June 9th after the event, after Apple presents iOS 19. We should be able to install it. Now, whether you should install it or not, I know a lot of people will want to install this update because it will have a ton of new features, of course, a new design and all that. But even though we have reports here, as we talked about, that this will be way more stable and less glitchy than the previous updates, I suggest that if you have just one device and it's your daily device, I suggest that you actually wait a bit. Maybe for the second beta, or even just wait for the public beta, which most likely will come around here the 14th or the 21st of July. That's the timeline that usually Apple goes with releasing a public beta. Otherwise, just keep an eye on YouTube here, on my channel and others' channels, and just see how the reports are, how this update works. If it's good and stable as Apple is intending to make it, then you can just go ahead and install it and try out the cool new features. So that's basically it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you did, make sure to smash that like button and of course subscribe for more iOS 19 videos, and I will see you on the next one.